Emkids, I really hope you're enjoying the series so far. Why don't you get off your seats and join me in some praise and worship?
I lay my life down at your feet. You're the only one I need. I turn to you and you are always there. In troubled times it's you I seek. I put you first, that's all I need. I humble all I am, all to you. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. You're the only one, you're the only one, you're the only one that I could live for. You're the only one, you're the only one, you're the only one that I could live for. You were always, always there, every how and everywhere. Your grace abounds so deeply within me. You will never ever change. Yesterday, today, the same. Forever till forever means no end. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. Are you having fun? Well, what we're gonna do now is we're all gonna get down nice and low. That's it. How low can you go? And we're gonna sing, "You are the way, the truth, and the life." Come on, let me hear ya. You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. Up a bit higher. You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. You are the way. You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. You are the way, the truth, and the life. We live by faith and not by sight. For you, we're living all for you. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for. One way, Jesus, you're the only one that I could live for.
Hey Sheree, I'm really sorry I'm late.
Well, sorry doesn't cut it anymore, Jared. You've broken too many promises and it's really upsetting.
But I promise I'll make it up to you.
No, Jared, stop saying that. Stop saying that you promise because it's very sacred and you haven't kept not even one. In fact, today's lesson is just for you. We are learning about the seventh commandment.
The seventh commandment, that's do not commit adultery. That's got nothing to do with me. I'm not even married.
Well, you shall not commit adultery is not only for married people. Yes, God wants husbands to be loyal to their wives and wives loyal to their husbands. But there is more to that commandment than what's written. God wants us to be loyal and trustworthy. He wants us to keep our word to our family and our friends. Why don't you watch this video to help you understand?
You shall not commit adultery. Now, adultery, really, this commandment is, well, it's not really super for kids. It's mostly for adults because adultery has to do with marriage. Yeah, and men and women get married, not boys and girls. It's not something that you do as a kid. It's something that you do when you grow up. But I think that even as kids, we can still follow this commandment. We can still learn this commandment and know what it means and try to obey it. Because see, adultery pretty much means breaking the promises that you make when you get married. Because when you get married, you make promises to each other and you make promises to God about each other. Have you heard of marriage vows? Yeah, well, a vow is like a promise. And so if you've ever seen a wedding, you see the bride and the groom and they're standing up there, and then the pastor asks them some questions. He says, will you do this thing? Will you do this thing? And they say, I do. And they say, I do. They're making promises. They're making vows about marriage. And adultery is when you break those promises. Marriage is very important to God. Very. Actually, in the days of creation, God made the whole earth, all the plants and the animals, and the land and the sea and the stars and the sun and the moon, all that stuff. He made it all in 6 days. Yeah, and every time he made something, he would say, and he saw that it was good. He made this, and it was good. He made the plants, and it was good. He made the animals, and it was good. And he made, the sun, and it was good. He made all this stuff, and it was good. But there was one time in creation, when it's talking about when God made the world, there was one time when it was not good. It was not good for Adam to be alone. Because God made Adam first, but he didn't have a companion. Among all the animals, he was alone. And so God made Eve, the first woman, to be with Adam so that they could be with each other and they could be married. God made marriage at the same time that he made people. We need to show marriage the respect that it deserves. And I think that even right now as kids, that we can still follow this commandment. We can still show respect to marriage.
That's interesting. God's commandment tells us do not commit adultery, but it also tells us to be faithful and loyal to the people that we love. God doesn't want to see us letting down our parents, siblings, or our friends. He wants us to be people that do what we say we will do. God wants us to be promise keepers, and he wants us to do what we say, just as God does for us.
Believe it or not, keeping your word is very easy. And it's an easy way to set yourself apart in the world. Many people just aren't good at keeping promises. And as a result, most people expect others to break their promises, like someone I know.
Okay, I'm really sorry. I will do my best to make a promise and keep it. So kids, I hope you've learned from me. Don't skip the 7th commandment just because you are kids. God's command to be people who honor our word for everyone. So if you start now as kids, keeping your promises daily and fulfilling your vows, you will continue to do so as an adult. It will make you a better Christian. And yes, it will make you a better husband or wife one day.
When you make a promise, keep it. When you say you'll be somewhere, be there. Start now to develop a habit of being loyal and trustworthy. It's a habit that will serve you well and help you keep the 7th commandment.
Well, Sheree, now that I've learned my lesson, can I promise to take you out for donuts after we're done with the Emkids?
Okay, sure. I'm certainly going to hold you to that one, Jared. That's it from us, Emkids. You only have 3 more commandments to go.
Enjoy it, and we will see you on the other side of the virus.
Bye.